Hello everyone, my name is Judith Silva, and in this presentation, I will explain our concept map based on James Banks' work on diversity, group identity, and citizenship education in a global age. Our math begins with the central idea, the connection between diversity, group identity, and citizenship education in a global age, which is the main topic. So, from this starting point, we show how globalization and migration have increased cultural diversity, generating new challenges for traditional assimilationist citizenship models. To organize these relationships, we place everything under a broader node that we call multicultural and transformative citizenship frameworks. This category help us group all the concepts related to citizenship, identity rights, and education within contemporary multicultural societies. That's why we involve in this map the levels of citizenship, its types, forms of identity, education as a mediator where students can participate democratically and develop a sense of global responsibility and respect for the diversity. Also, some comparative samples that we're going to measure with global and Colombian societies that approach all these main concepts, and of course, the implications that it has for teaching English in multicultural contexts.
Alright, so now let's dive into the justification of the relationships in our map. From this main framework, four major strands branch out. The first one is the levels of citizenship. We included Banks' four levels: legal, minimal, active, and transformative citizenship to show how participation evolves from basic membership to active advocacy and finally to transformative action that challenges injustice. These levels are connected to education because schooling plays a key role in moving students from minimal to transformative participation. The next one are the types of citizenship rights. We mapped civil, political, social, and cultural rights. Civil and political rights relate to democratic participation, while social rights ensure access to welfare and education. Banks adds cultural rights to recognize multilingualism, heritage, and identity, especially important in multicultural or post-conflict societies like our own, Colombia. Next are the forms of identity. Identity appears as cultural, national, and global. These identities are shown as overlapping because individuals today are shaped simultaneously by their heritage, their national belonging, and increasing global interconnectedness. Education helps students negotiate these identities, avoiding assimilation on one hand and fragmentation on the other. The last one is education as a mediator. Our map shows education linking all key concepts because schools are where students learn to understand diversity, recognize rights, and participate democratically, and so develop a sense of global responsibility. Well, this connection is central to Banks' argument that citizenship in a global age requires both unity and respect for diversity. And that's what our concept map is trying to show you. Our concept map also integrates both global and Colombian examples that highlight how different societies approach diversity, identity, and citizenship education. Global examples. In France, the assimilationist model illustrated by policies such as the Belle development of It values both levels the ongoing tension between national identity and cultural rights. Canada, by contrast, follows a multicultural model that embraces dual identities and promotes an indigenous language education, emphasizing inclusion and cultural preservation. In the United States, the civil rights movement and contemporary social justice activism exemplify active and transformative citizenship practice. Colombian examples, the 19, 1991 Constitution officially recognized Colombia as a multi-ethnic and multicultural nation, laying the foundation for inclusive citizenship. In education programs for Afro-Colombian and indigenous communities further protect cultural rights and affirm the value of diversity in education. Meanwhile, post-conflict peace education initially promote dialogue, tolerance, and active participation in rebuilding social trust and civic life. Together, these examples demonstrate that civilization education cannot be limited to minimal or patriotic approaches. It's moving transformative, participatory, and inclusive, preparing learners to engage and thoughtfully in a interconnected and diverse world.